Okay, here's my rosewood, my large rosewood bowl. I'm thinking of getting a coring system because this bowl is 16 7/8 across the major diameter, and it's close to 5 inches deep. So I'm trying to decide whether I chip away all that wood or buy a coring system to hollow out that and make a blank or two out of this in addition to what's already there, because I intend to be, somewhere around here, an inch in from this edge would be the inside of the bowl. And the reason it's an inch is because I have some live edges, or not live edges, natural edges that are recessed in a little bit, and I can't make the wall real thin. Other thing of interest is I'm probably gonna miss a few weeks here and there because I've been so busy doing things that aren't related to turning, and this big bowl is taking a long time, and I'm delaying what I'm doing, so we'll see what happens. I've got to get this so that I can put the wood worm screw back on, so I want to make this flush, this bump here, because I think this boundary is too small, and this one's probably good, so I'm going to make it square here. So that's plenty deep, so I'm good. It looks good. I think it's good now. I'll probably tighten it a little bit more once I turn it around. Okay, I put this on just to prove I could do it. I really got to have it off because when I'm coring this, I want the live center to be poked into that hole that this woodworm screw goes in. So it will go in there, so I've got to take this back off. And I'll be able to do that when I'm coring. I don't have my knives yet, but the biggest one is supposed to come sometime this week. So okay, I've got this rosewood blank here that I have done the outside. I've got a coring system. This is the 16-inch knife, which is the biggest one, and you can see I think I've got it set up. It's tricky because of all of the things that you have a lot of flexibility, but making sure that you can't run the knife in and say, that's where it would go, and adjust it. So you have to fool with it and measure things and measure them twice and cut once kind of deal. Measure them several times and cut once. But it's like 8.5 inches almost to the outside and 4/10 of an inch less than that, so 8.1. It's basically 8 inches at the inside radius of this knife, and I've got this set up, and I don't think I'm going to be able to use another knife because if I hadn't already pre-cut this, I lost 2 or 3/10 of an inch in depth here that I could have maybe used if I had made this flatter and not stuck this out so far. So it's gonna go, and I'll see what happens. I'm not going to run it right now, but I'm going to run it soon. And then after I go, you can see there's maybe you can see, there's like 1.5 inches of clearance to the outside edge from where the knife touches. The other thing is I've got the knife centered just this side of the center line of the channel here. And so what that means is that the knife will curve in and actually start turning back to the right, but it'll be such a small amount that I don't care. And by the time I remachine this, there's other features, like there's some natural edge right here that limits how deep I can go in here, but I can see I've got plenty of room, and you can't see it, but there's a big dip here that kind of limits how far out this can go. I also have a pedestal on the bottom of this bowl, so it's 1.25 inches tall pedestal and 5-something inches across, and I think all of this will work out and not be a tippy bowl. If it becomes tippy, I may have to get rid of the pedestal, but I don't think it will be, but I won't know until I get a lot farther along. So it's ready to go. I'm just going to wait a day and make sure that I have a better chance of not screwing it up. Well, in my starting to turn the coring, I must have put too much force on here, so now I've got to make a new tenon, which I'll make it deeper this time, but I'll set it below this one to pretty much take this one off. And I've got a lot of meat here to fool with. I should be able to do that. I got to check, make sure that these aren't in the way, but otherwise I think I'm okay. Okay, when I had this come off, and that was because I wasn't, well, part of the reason is that I wasn't supporting it here. And the reason is this interferes with this. And I couldn't get this end close enough to reach all the way to lock in here. So I bought this extension. It's like 3.5 inches, so it made it 3.5 inches longer, which two things it did was get me farther to the left, but additionally it cleared this space here, so now this diameter won't hit here, and I'm 1/4 of an inch away for when this is here. So I'm good there. The other thing is that it's not obvious here, but when I remounted this, I had to redo this tenon, and when I did it, it wasn't perfectly exactly the same as the other one. So you can see I'm touching now, and now I'm clear, and I'm touching on the outside. I touch the inside, and then I touch the outside, just barely. So I'm going to cut a little more of this away, 1/16 of an inch or so. So I'm going to lose a little bit, but overall, I think I'm good. Well, I gave up for now. I'm going to remove this by chipping it away. I had so much trouble with it catching, and there's something I'm doing wrong, and obviously I'm learning on my first bowl. So we'll see how I go here, but I'd rather get one good bowl than none. I don't know if you can see, but there's just dust. So this is extremely dry wood. So it's I think that's part of my reason I had trouble with the pouring. But I'm getting it hollowed out, but it's coming out. Sometimes it's shaving, sometimes it's just dust. So we'll see. Well, I think I'm really thin here. I can't afford to go any deeper that way. I mean, out here, it's thicker. But the way I did the other side, now it's only maybe a ½ an inch wide where it's really thin, then it gets thick again. So I'm okay as long as I don't go too deep here, but I'm pretty close. We'll see how that goes. Okay, I've got two cracks that I put super glue and sawdust in, here and here. Not very easy to see. There you can see that pretty well, right there. But that runs, and it's on the outside too. So I had treated the outside already, and I knew it was going to appear on the inside, but I wasn't sure how much. And when I take a little bit more wood away, I may have to repair this again because I might not have gone deep enough with the CA glue. We'll see. But in any case, I don't think it's going to be a real problem. It just will create a line. And you can just barely see it right there. And it runs all the way over to here. That's the one. And the other one is here to here. And I'm sure you can't see it with the camera setting. But in any case, I've got it done. I got some extra super glue here, so that'll be sanded off, or it depends on how much more tool work I'm going to do. But I'm good. Looks good. Okay, I've got this ready to sand now. It's going to be relatively thick. Because there's this thin spot right here, you can see it, kind of the natural edge. And so I've only got maybe a 1/4 inch there. And so I can't make it much. Now I probably could have made it somewhat thinner, but I kind of like the heavy nature of it. Additionally, the bowl, because it has a pedestal, I hope to make sure it stayed level and didn't tip. And it's pretty good about not tipping, so I think I've got it good. But that's what makes it 5 inches tall, or whatever the number is, because it's got about 1 inch of a pedestal. So I'm going to sand this. I've got 60 to 320, and I'll probably stop at 320. I mean, I might go more than that, but probably not. Okay. Well, here is my finished Rosewood bowl, large bowl. It's the largest thing I've made so far. It's 16 5/8 across, and my lathe is 1824 or 1836. And so obviously 18 inches, this is 16 5/8, so it's pretty close to the maximum I can get. I might have been able to get a little bit bigger if I had had a perfect board, but it turned out like this. Now it's got some nice heartwood, nice new wood. It turned out really nice. It's different than anything else I've made, obviously just because it's big. But additionally, I put a pedestal on the bottom. So this thing's about 5 inches tall. 1 inch of that is a pedestal on the bottom. I'm going to flip this over in a minute here, and you can see what the bottom looks like. I was going to core it, and I started, as you saw in the video, and it came loose once, and it kept getting jammed up, and this was 6-year dry wood, so it's very dry and hard. And so I was generating just dust. It wasn't coming out in shavings. I mean, there's a little bit of shavings, but a lot of dust. So it's hard, and it just wasn't working out for me, and I was worried I was gonna make it, so I couldn't even get one bowl. So I switched to just chiseling away the body of the core there. And so I didn't get another bowl blank. Now I have another piece like this that I'm going to try a core again, but I think I'm going to order a carbide tip for the coring system and get it so that it doesn't get dull so fast. I think that was my problem. I haven't sharpened any bits yet, and so I couldn't even get one core out without it getting stuck. So I just gave up for now because I didn't want to sacrifice this bowl if something went wrong. Here's my latest bowl bottom. I got a pedestal here that's about 1 inch tall and 5 or so inches across. It's got my wooden nickel in there, and you can see more easily here the natural edges. I got a little bit here, a pretty good size one here, and another one coming around the corner. This one drives the thickness because it's pretty deep in. And so I do have a lot of the heartwood and new wood, and it's got a yellow tint to it in the new wood, and it's very pretty all together. And you can see my cracks that I've repaired. They were in the log that, as it had dried over 6 years, I guess, it had some slight cracks that I was able to fix. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe for more similar wood turning videos. Please comment on the video and I should respond. I make a video about once a week.